Okay, welcome back. I'm gonna do a little bit longer video on running pliers. Here's your standard inland 8-inch with the removable tips and the set screw. You want to set this screw a little more than a quarter of a turn in from where it touches the glass. Just so if you squeeze hard, you don't break your glass. That's what that screw's for. It's not an indicator for up. You can say, oh, that's up, but yeah, you set that to the thickness of your glass. It'll allow you to set for 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, 7 millimeters, 5 millimeters. It allows you to do that, and then the thinner glass, 2 millimeter. This way, when you squeeze it, you squeeze the running pliers, and it does go through the run. You don't crush your glass beneath. You never really want to put extra pressure on the glass underneath. That's what that screw's for. Actually comes in very handy. Here, I've got, you can see that. I'll get in the light. Here we go. Red Runner. These are old. I don't even remember where I got them from. But they're plastic. There's no other brand name on it. It just says Red Runner. But has a basic principle. The bump on the bottom here, and then a curved top on the top, a curve on the top. It looks like these are actually replaceable as well. But I can't imagine them wearing out. So they're hard plastic. You got those. Then we got the new Speed Walks. These are actually, I'm warming up to them because the reason why, really, they're compact and they work really well. And I did find out what that screw is. Basically, it'll tighten up on a spring below, make it so it doesn't press as easily. I don't know if that's an asset. That's the only thing I could think of, because the screw goes into where the spring is located. All right, so, but if you do tighten it all the way, which I did, it makes it have a little bit more resistance. So I don't think that's an important issue, feature. These are small enough. And I'll show you a piece of the pink glass. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy about pink being difficult to cut. I mean, my videos, I'll set you straight on that. Pink can be difficult. It depends on whether it's an opaque pink or glass with a lot of texture in it. Like a Kokomo pink-white mix, very difficult to cut. So if you use you get a hold of some Yakogani, whatever. We called it Yoko. For years it was Yoko. People call it Yakogani. Okay. Anyway, Yakogani is very dense pink with dense white in it. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. But pink like this, like an old Spectrum pink, and people claim that difficult to cut. It's really not. It's not. It's probably just as easy or easier than a lot other glass. Just because it's a nice annealed. It's not really a double rolled, but it's a flat glass, and I guess you can call it double rolled, but it's not like the traditional cathedral glass that is a true double roll. So, but it's not hard to cut. And here, see my score right there. You can take a marker and mark the middle, but you got a good eye. You could see kind of where the middle is, like that. Oop. I got it right? Let's see, I'm gonna go up here. There we go. It must have been a little bump or something. Let's try that again. I wasn't really paying attention. Wasn't the proper pressure. I'm flapping my gums too much about pink glass, and here I go, right? No, but it really does cut easy. It's and it depends on the opacity. You know, how much white is in it, how much grain you have in the glass. So anyway, to get that out of the gate, let me go back to this blue. This is actually a nice soft iridized. This is a, as iridized go, this is a very mild iridized. It almost looks like it's not, but I think well, actually could just be the glass, but it does have an iridized effect to it. Yeah, so we tried the little ones here. Let's try them again. Yeah, maybe I normally just break with my fingers, but see, that's how. Snaps real nice. Right, now we're going to try the red run. These are actually pretty neat. There's a blue run is like this. I think Glass makes them. One of them companies. Inland. This is Inland, but it's a blue one. I have them somewhere. No idea where. But these, you want to make sure you keep tabs on which way's up, so you can easily flip this the wrong direction. See that this is the up. Let's see. Got a line there. Okay, no line there. So here you see there's a scribe line here. So let's try that. There you go. Put the line right on it. Give it a pop. These actually, when you squeeze them, has a little spring to it. Interesting. I've never used these. I'm going to be honest. I've never, ever used them. But they seem to work fine. Now for smaller or thinner runs, I don't think you have enough here. This is more or less designed for snapping larger pieces, right? Whereas the small ones here have a narrow enough blade where you can split a thin piece like that, which I like for that reason as well. Right? And then you have the Inland. Now these pliers actually have a continuous curve, so that'll allow you to break bigger strips, and also it'll allow you to break smaller strips over, say, oops, don't fall, something like this. You see there's a flat span here, and then just a bump in the center. So these running pliers are more or less for doing larger splits, whereas these Inlands actually has enough a curve. I could probably cut this in half. Let's give that a try. And those are 8-inch. I think they come smaller. I'm not sure. I was never a big user of running pliers. I really never wasn't. A lot of my cutting just relied on using my fingers and then the back of the cutter like that, just to snap. Let's try this. So we had it's set pretty good, and if it doesn't break, you have to tighten it up. So there it goes. It went. So that was achievable because of the continuous curve here. All right. Let's try something else. Get rid of that. And we'll try, see that little divot there? You see how I just burnt right through it? No problem. There's the lines right there. If you were pushing, you'd be all over the place. Here, you really don't see the score, but what I did was a gentle. I was allowed to start that run. You hear a little pop when you're doing curve pieces. And then, you know, to preserve that, you can come in and, you know, finish it off, snap it up here, which these may even, you might be able to use them like this. If you don't squeeze hard, you just go gentle with it and just use it as to pry. I'm not squeezing down. I'm just using it as like an extra finger to grab this glass and snap it. Nothing wrong with doing that. You know, I've heard people speak of, oh, they're using their running pliers as breaking pliers. Well, you're not really breaking the glass. You're just kind of grabbing it gently. All right, I'm going to say that. So there's nothing wrong with that. And these actually, this is the first time I opted out to do something like that. Because I said, you know what? Due to the size of this jar, I was like, that's almost the size of your finger. So that'd probably work out pretty well. As long as you don't squeeze down. You don't want to squeeze down. It's going to be snug and snap. Let's try that again. With the bigger pliers, I don't think you'd have that same feel. See, I got stuck in the rip. So here, see, these are so heavy, you try to just gently start it, it's going to run it through. Nothing wrong with that. But these seem to be a little more versatile when it comes to that. Let's try it again. See, I'm stuck in that rut. That rut's always going to be there. But I burnt right through it. Let's try these little ones again. Maybe the screws on the top. I think my score's right here. I'm not paying attention. I go a little gentle. Let's see, gentle. Oh, there you go, little pop. You don't have to come back here. You grab it like this and gently bend down. That works really well. Actually, I like that a lot. So that, you know, doing the production thing for years, if you got to put that down and pick up your breakers, well, this is a thin breaker, very thin blade, which are good for tight inside curve areas. Let's see, where are they? Now these, actually, I have breakers in various sizes. I got tiny, not so tiny, and then I have unless my son walked up with my tools again, I have the other breakers. I would almost think that's what happened. He's been hitting up. He took my carborundum stone the other day. Oh, here they are. I'm accusing him of doing something he didn't do. All right, here, you got tiny. Let's hold it this way. These are breaker pliers. You have these, which can get really into tight areas of a cut. You know, actually use them to chip them. You know, chip your glass. So you can turn it over and use it as a grouser. It's really nice. You can get in real tight areas. You almost cut a V-notch with these. Being careful. And these medium ones, I don't even know. These just been laying around forever. Basically the same blade style as this, a little wider. And then you have the, I guess this is an inland. Yeah, inland with the spring in it. This one lost its spring years ago. This one still has a spring. So, yeah. And typically, you cut something like that, If you're going to use your runner, you really don't need to use your runner. You just go ahead and grab your breaker pliers. You'll get it right here. Yeah, and then just snap it down. But I like the idea, if you're nervous about that, snapping, they use the running pliers to start it. Do it again. So you have to have a deep curve so it doesn't break through. Okay, we're going to go start it. And do this gently. Oh, little tick there. Okay. Now you could put them down, pick these up, or you just take these, and like I said, instead of using your finger, which I can grab it like that, snap it down, which opens up the opportunity of getting cut. Or you can just use this gently, and I'm not squeezing, I'm just snugging. And right there, just break it down. I just learned that today. So if I was relying a lot on tools to cut glass, breakers or runners, and I need to snap off a little here and there, I most absolutely would do that. Use that for that purpose. And then, if you got something, say, let's go a little crazy here, something like this, right? Where these, you wouldn't be able to really snap it down because you're going to end up breaking it. You get it started. Let's see. Shaky. There we go. Got it started, right? And then you get right here. But, come back here. I never advocate spinning glass around, especially with it half broken. It's dangerous, but I'm grabbing this part. I'm never grabbing it like that. Right, you come in here. I think I got a snap out of it. I think I did. I don't even know. I'm all shaky. I never work like that, that's why. Yeah, more of a snap. See, it broke off here, but basically I'm using it. I'm not going to cut myself if I slip, or I come up here. I could actually come in here and finish off this like that. And now you have a little point here. You take your grouser, you take off the point like that, right? Or, use the other way, the curved side up, you take off points like that. That's the grouser part. You could also grouse with the flat for those areas to remove those kind of points. And so yeah, it's pretty neat. I like these a lot, actually. I would probably use these more than I use these. And if I was to cut big pieces of glass, I typically would just score it and snap it up the edge of the bench. Like, it's not a big piece, but just say it was. Like that, and then just, snap it down like that. So I would really never rely on running pliers. I have, to cut long strips, just to cut them, very random. Rarely do. So anyway, I just want to do a little bit more on running pliers. These are actually awesome. I mean, they feel good, and they got this little bump here. I mean, ergonomic. I mean, and I could see if you have a small hand, these are really nice. They're lightweight, not too light. These are just, somebody had the idea years ago. All right, I'll give them that. The Red Runner. But, from the 80s, I have no idea. And the standard inlets, which do work really well. It has the line. These actually have replaceable tips you can buy. I don't know, they come off easy or what, but they do sell the tips because it's not the same, width as that. And being that it's more forgiving with the surface area, you can use it to snap glass like I showed. I wouldn't use it all the time, like that, and grab it like this. I mean, you could. Actually, why not? There you go. See, I'm learning right on this video right now with you guys. These are now excelling in big ways for me. So, yeah, you can use your running pliers to snap glass. I was saying squeeze down, just grab it and use the leverage. It's got the leverage here. And yeah, if I had a third thumb, I would put that up too. Good job, Speedwax. And and Lynn, you always do a good job. So and you, Red Runner, I don't know. Yeah, you had a nice idea. I don't know, but they work, and they got a little give to them, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but they work. And then your standard braking pliers. I hope I opened up a few more ideas for you folks and explained a little bit more about running pliers and the evil pink glass. Most pink glass, especially if it's going to be of a light wispy variety like this, cuts real easy. Say white glass is harder to cut than pink. But again, the heavy textured or the very deep opal pink, with the whites running through it, that's going to give you problems over other glass. But not any more than, say, a heavy mixed blue with white or, yellow with white. And red. Red actually, a solid red, like a red water glass or red Baroque can cause a lot bigger issues, cutting wise, than any pink glass. All right, so just to clear that up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me that thumbs up right down there. Thumbs up. It's only me, guys. I'm one of me. I do the videos, I do the presentations, I do the editing. I very rarely edit. Everything I make just goes right up. I believe in, if I have a mistake, something happens, you're going to see it. Unless I cut my finger off. If I cut my finger, I might just, all right, let's keep going. Yeah, I don't have production managers and studio managers and editing managers. It's just me. It's just Gary. All right. And if you like my stained glass, the way I do things, and you want to support me, hit the join button. I mean, you won't regret it, and it really helps me out. And subscribing too. Hit the subscribe button. Right down there. It really does help my channel grow. And as I said in the past, the more members I get, the bigger my giveaways are going to be. I fell behind a little bit this month. Well, actually, was it August? I did still give. I got other stuff, hummingbird cutters, but I plan on stepping it up. I still want to get that grinder. I'm working on it, and I want to give away a grinder for my next substantial giveaway. But I do have more books. My good, excuse me, I'm going through puberty again. My books have now become, they're going to be distributed globally. You're going to see my newer books on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and Walmart, all that. So when that happens, I'm gonna possibly get a whole bunch and pass a whole bunch of them away, and I'm going to sign them. So that's probably what's going to happen. And I'm working on new books as well. So I'll let everybody know in the member area when I put new patterns up. I'll make videos. I'll do a video book presentation, and keep testing these gadgets. I mean, this tip tinner, this crazy stuff. I'm going to use it on a fairly new iron that's starting to get crusty. That's my intention. Like an iron, like that. You have a little bit of corrosion on it, and see how it cleans it up. This is a brand new iron too, but just to see if that is an option. You say, all right, before you go to work, just put it in a tip tinner. Well, I don't know. People don't like it. I throw it right into flux, and I brush it off with a wire brush. Back to my future. I'm going to be working on giving away more items, to pay back my members and show my appreciation for your membership. All right, and if you're not a member, right down, I think I got it lined up. It's right down there. Hit that join button. And if you do and you support me, I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching.